MSA was founded largely because parents thought that the state had a responsibility to provide unique opportunities for living and learning for bright students. It's as simple as that. There had been in other states analogous programs where students came together, lived in a dorm, did some studying classes, did some stuff outside of classes in the dorm, in activity, and they noted that the impact on these students was extraordinary. To use one word, it was explosive.
My most challenging academic experience was on the first day of our major, when we discussed what infinity actually was, and we got into a huge 3-hour-long debate.
Definitely discussions when you have to really be able to look at something from a different perspective and think about something how you've never thought about it before.
The idea was to give students a unique opportunity to study stuff that's not ordinarily available in a standard high school curriculum, to have them learn in an atmosphere that is different from a standard high school setting.
My most difficult academic challenge I've experienced so far at MSA would be my major, which is puzzles, games, and problem solving. In this class, basically on a daily basis, he presents us with these extremely difficult puzzles that require a completely new way of thinking.
Writing a poem about quantum physics for my time in writing class, that was pretty intense.
Learning katakana and hiragana in Japanese and then trying to read it.
In the education renovation class, just really being challenged to think outside the box in terms of how we can improve education.
Students learn more in an intense, concentrated environment during the summer than they ever could during the school year. And these parents thought, well, if it works in North Carolina, if it works in Kentucky, if it works in Arkansas, why not try it in Missouri? The fact that there is some funding is what we need to try to start thinking about what happens next. And shortly after MSA 2009 ends, we start meeting about 2010. There are a lot of people who are asking about 2010. There are a lot of people who are concerned.
Yeah, I am very disappointed about that. And the financial threats to MSA, this isn't anything new. It's been happening for a few years. And I think that's unfortunate because the state really doesn't have a lot of programs for gifted students in Missouri. And it seems like when things need to be cut, they'll look there first, and that's really the only program they had.
Would you have been able to attend MSA if it were tuition-based then?
I probably could have, but I know many of my friends probably couldn't have.
There's one model, state funding. Another model, tuition. Another, a partnership between some public money and some corporate money.
You mentioned in your article that MSA should seek alternate funds from other sources. Do you have any suggestions for these sources?
The students. And certainly a lot of students aren't going to be able to pay, but those outspoken proponents of the program, hopefully, if they love it so much, and have been so outspoken and supportive, will be smart enough with all those smart little 330 minds too, to be able to design some scholarships or other privately organized sources of funds for those students who can't afford it. But there are a lot of other summer camps similar to MSA where the students are expected to pay for a good portion of it.
So children that would not be fortunate enough to be able to afford or to obtain a limited amount of scholarships would be left out to dry.
Well, it depends what that amount of scholarship is, and I realize it's not a perfect suggestion, but state funding is not unlimited. If it were unlimited, yes, it would be wonderful, of course. We wouldn't even be discussing this.
Have you researched any other state-funded programs that you feel might be wasteful?
No.
The thing that distinguishes these programs is that they are state-funded. That's a critical point. You didn't have to pay one dime. You bring personal money, but you don't need to bring personal money. A student can come to MSA and not spend anything except the gas mileage money to get from where your hometown is to Columbia and back. That's it. We're really proud of that. We're really proud of that. And there's no question that as we begin planning for 2010. That's going to be our goal, to keep that. Because one of the nice things about MSA is that a student comes because he or she is bright and talented, not because he or she can afford it.
Do you feel that gifted and talented education should be privatized?
No. I think summer camps should be privatized.
You talk about how it's not necessarily the academic experience that it's advertised to be. Do you have any suggestions on how to renovate the program to make it more scholarly?
Yes. As nice as it is to get out of the classroom and go see things, a lot of times when you go from activity to activity, you don't have time to really learn something in great depth. At the time I was really interested in journalism, and I don't think there was a magazine. And so I did the yearbook, and I did humor. And I think partly that choice of majors made it a less academic experience than perhaps students who had chosen to study a field of science or that sort of thing.
And what would you say to the statement that MSA is all fun and games?
Yeah, I read that in the paper one time, and I found that really disheartening. There's nothing wrong with having responsible fun. There's nothing wrong with a student who's hardworking, as you guys are, having fun. The notion that learning should not be enjoyable, that learning should not be fun, I think is just, it's a wrong notion. I think that people can study, can work hard, can apply themselves, and by gosh, they can learn how to have a good time. Kids talk with each other in ways that are not possible back home. They're doing activities they've not thought about doing before, like Shakespeare in the pool. When else have you guys done Shakespeare in the pool? And is that fun? Of course it's fun. Seeing The Hypnotist, is that fun? Of course it's fun. Did you learn from The Hypnotist? Of course you learned from The Hypnotist. Was it bad that some of you laughed while looking at The Hypnotist? Of course it's not bad that you laughed. I'm not one who thinks that everything should be serious.